Most people think if you get deported, you get sent back home, but that's not always what happens. Some people are put on planes to countries they've never even been to. People who followed the rules, showed up to every hearing, and built lives in the US have landed in places completely unfamiliar, not their home country or even anywhere they had heard of. And most people have no idea this is even possible. Here is how it actually works. The US has quietly made deals with countries around the world, paying some of these countries to take people who have no connection there whatsoever. People with no family or language connection, no history, nothing. Over 15,000 people have already been sent to these third countries, and many people have never even heard of this happening. Here are 5 of those cases. Every one of them is real, and each one is worse than the last. So let us start with case 1. A man fled Afghanistan. He escaped the Taliban and built himself a life in upstate New York. He did everything by the book and diligently followed the process. Then they told him he was being deported, not to Afghanistan, but to Uganda, a country in East Africa he had never set foot in. He had no family there, no friends, didn't speak the language. He had no single connection to the place. He had survived one of the most dangerous regimes on Earth, and was told to start over somewhere he hadn't a clue about. This is just case 1. Case 2, and this one hits differently. This time it wasn't a man, it was a mother, a woman who came from the indigenous Guatemalan highlands. She had been held captive and repeatedly sexually assaulted and badly hurt by members of a powerful gang in Guatemala. She walked all the way to the US border, carrying her 4-year-old daughter, conceived during the torture, and asked for help. She applied for asylum and showed up to every single hearing. She waited in the system like she was supposed to. Then an ICE attorney in a San Francisco courtroom tried to have her sent to one of these 3 countries, Ecuador, Honduras, or Uganda, countries she didn't know. She had come looking for safety for herself and her little girl, and the system tried to send her somewhere she probably never heard of. Now, you might think, okay, these are rare situations, unusual cases. They are not. And what happens next makes it hard to explain. Case 3. A 29-year-old woman left Colombia after being kidnapped and tortured by an armed group. She came to the United States and applied for asylum. A U.S. immigration judge looked at her case and officially ruled in writing that she was more likely than not to be tortured if she was sent home. The law was on her side. A judge had already said, do not send her back. They deported her anyway, not to Colombia, to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a country in Central Africa she had never been to in her life. The flight took 27 hours. Her hands and feet were shackled the whole way. She arrived somewhere she had never been, couldn't speak the language, knew no one, and had no way to return. A judge had already ruled that it wasn't safe to send her home, so they sent her somewhere else entirely. And it doesn't stop there. Case 4. A man from El Salvador had been given legal protection under the United Nations Convention Against Torture, an international treaty the U.S. is a signatory and party to. A court had formally said he could not go back to his home country because of what would happen to him there. So they sent him to Mexico instead. Mexican authorities then drove him to Guatemala, and from Guatemala he ended up in El Salvador, the exact country the court said he could not return to. His last message to his brother said he was about to be taken to a maximum security prison, notorious for human rights abuses. After that message, nothing. His brother has not heard from him since. And then there is Case 5, a deportation flight carrying 135 people, mostly Asian migrants, landed in Costa Rica, a country none of them had any connection to whatsoever. Half of the people on that flight were children, not adults with complicated cases. Children on a deportation flight to a country they had never lived in. So, what does all of this mean for you? If your immigration case is still open, get a lawyer, not next week, now. Someone who actually knows your file can challenge a third country deportation order before it becomes your reality. Most of the people in these stories had nobody in their corner when it mattered most. If you are ever detained, do not sign anything you do not fully understand. Some of those documents, once you sign them, they take away your right to challenge where you are sent. If you are unsure about anything, say clearly that you do not consent and that you want to speak to a lawyer before you sign a single thing. And if you are genuinely afraid of being sent to a particular country, say it out loud and say it early. Say it to an immigration judge. That statement alone can change the entire direction of your case. 15,000 people have already been sent to countries that are not their own. Some followed every rule. Some even had legal protection. Some, sadly, were children. The system moves fast, and it does not always explain itself. Subscribe to Borderline Access because this is the kind of information most people only find out about when it is already too late. Drop your questions in the comments. Whatever is on your mind, just ask. Navigate the divide. This is Borderline Access. We will see you at the next border. Disclaimer. This content is for general educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Immigration law is complex and subject to change. Always consult a qualified immigration lawyer regarding your specific situation.